Hello and welcome to the Website from Scratch Tutorial 2022 edition. Today, I'm going to show you how to create your own website from scratch so that today you will have it up and running without so much trouble. Many changes have happened since the last creation of this great website tutorial from scratch in its previous version. In this new version 2022, I want to talk about everything new that has emerged in terms of creation of web pages. Let's talk about all the new update of the most used platform worldwide, WordPress. And we will also talk about those changes that affect us directly, talking about SEO. As to what rule we must follow to position our web page in the first places in the search engines. Before we start, I want to talk about this course. This course I have designed it totally from the bottom for people who have no knowledge. We will be creating together the website, and at the same time we will add things a little more advanced to the end to have our website ready. For this course, you don't need any knowledge of anything. I'm talking about HTML codes or anything like that, because nowadays you don't need that anymore. What we do is to use pre-designed platforms in an easy way, configure it to our taste, and that our page looks 100% professional. I welcome you to this course and I hope you have a great time. I want to mention before we start, to answer that question you may have, why create a web page? I want to mention that having a web page is not really optional, especially for those people who are looking for a professional image either for their person or for their business or for any other purpose. I also want to mention that there are different ways to have a website on the internet. There are many services that are offered for free so that you can create one. However, if you are a person who is really looking for a serious and professional concept because you require it, I will always recommend you to create it based on your own hosting or your own hosting, so that way you are limited in what you can do. In many occasions when we get free pages through some services, they do not give us the necessary tools to really have our site as we need it. And also in many occasions these people place advertisements that really make your site look very unprofessional. We are going to create a web page focused on our own hosting. I'm going to show you step by step how to do it from the beginning, so that way it looks exactly as we need it. What are we going to need for the creation of our website? First of all, we are going to talk about domains. There are many people who understand this concept perfectly, but for those who do not understand, a domain is going to be the name of your web page. I am going to show you how to search for this domain, and once we find it that we see that it is available, we are going to register it to later acquire the hosting. The second step, we are going to hire a hosting also known as web hosting. What is the hosting? Well, the hosting is where we are going to host all those files that will take the page that we are going to create. All those people who have a website, including companies, we all depend on this service, because this service is the one that will allow us that our website is on 24 hours a day. I want to mention that from our side it would be very difficult for us at home to have a computer turned on and prepared as a server so that we could place our web page there. Besides, we would have a lot of security problems, and that is a very important point. That is why we need a company that offers us the hosting service so that we can host our site in that place, and that way it is protected and also active most of the time. These two concepts are the first in terms of what we are going to need to create our web page. Now I want to talk about the costs. Since we are creating a professional web page and we are going to do our own hosting, we are going to need to hire these two services so that our site is linked in the right way. I want to mention that the domain or domain name is not really expensive. This is paid annually and its price can range from $8 to $15. We are talking about an annual basis. In terms of hosting service, their prices range between $5 to $12 per month, depending on the features and capacity that you have. Now in this tutorial, I'm going to present you what is a discount coupon for you to acquire that hosting almost for free. So that way you can start with your site and start working on it. Once we have these two main elements, we will continue with the installation of the platform that we will use. In this course, you are going to learn how to create your website automatically with just one click so that you don't waste your time doing other activities. We are also going to talk about the new updates of the platform. I'm going to prepare you to know how to update your platform automatically once your website is already built, and we are also going to talk about how to restructure our website. This is the part where sometimes many people do not know how to start. I'm going to tell you the steps to follow regarding the structure for the construction, and that way we make it much simpler and not really make it so complicated. The idea is to go step by step to finish the project. I will also talk about the importance of the pages in your website, what pages you should place and how you should place it in what section, and I will also talk about its difference with the publications. This of the publications is another concept totally different from the pages where sometimes people get confused, but I am going to talk clearly about these two so that you can apply them in your own web page. Let's also talk about templates. Templates are what will give life to your website. Many years ago, people to build a site needed to know about programming, some languages, and so on. Currently, how I mentioned from the beginning, we use the WordPress platform, which already comes pre-designed so that only configure it to our liking. The templates play a very important role because they are going to give us the image to our site. Here I have some examples of some templates. All this you see is designed on the WordPress platform, where the type of templates are configured in different ways really as you need it. This is an example where they put here some images on this side. What we have here on the right side is known as widgets. These widgets can be arranged in different ways, and there are different ways for you to place different types of information. In another session like this one that we see here, is where we are going to find many times what are the publications of our site to give it a little more relevance in the search engines. Here I have another example. Those people decided to place this widget on the right side, which has to do with buttons for social networks. Here we have the same way their menu. We have a main image and we have on this side some other publications with their photos, and maybe some sections. Each template works in a different way. You really have to choose the one that you like the most or adapts to your needs. I'm going to help you to really choose one that works well for you so that you can use it in your own page. Here I have another example. If you notice, all the concepts are similar. The only thing that changes is the location in terms of some sessions of the same page. So simple. Today, we are going to have all this designed so that you really feel satisfied with the work you are going to do. Next, we are going to talk about plugins. Plugins are small programs created by the community which you can download for free and integrate them into your website. Among these plugins, there are many categories. Some of the most important ones that I will mention in this tutorial have to do with security. It also has to do with the SEO. This will help us to position our website in the first places. I am going to show you those changes in terms of the new things that are happening with SEO. We are also going to talk about some plugins regarding some improvements in our site and how to use those plugins to place social media buttons so that people can follow us through any of the most important social networks at the moment. A tip that I will also teach you is automation. I'll show you how you can automate all those publications that you create on your website so that automatically placed in any of the social networks that you currently have. I am talking about Twitter, Facebook, among others. In addition to all this information that I am going to offer you today, I am going to give you my personal tips. I am going to talk about how to really keep your website active for a long time, how to make people come back to your website, see your services and your posts, and how to really get the success that you are expecting.